All right, we have a special guest on the Newsmax hotline, Representative Andy Biggs, representative from Arizona, who I believe today is still identifying as a congressman. I could be wrong. Andy, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Good to be with you.
Glad to have you on the show. We've got a lot of things we need to get to. I guess first and foremost would be the nomination of Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. I have a question for you, and I'm not, I'm not a legal scholar by any means. But do you suppose, since she can't tell you what a woman is, that she would have to recuse herself with regard to Title IX? Anything with regard to Title IX or affirmative action because she was nominated because she's a black woman. More importantly than being a black woman, people were excluded for not being those things. Do you suppose that any of this might upset what she may be able to rule upon when she becomes a Supreme Court justice?
Well, you know, reality and common sense have gone, Rob, so it doesn't matter what you and I think. Then once she gets on the court, she's not going to recuse herself from anything. She's going to weigh in on everything, and that's what we're trying to poke a little fun at. But I mean, this notion that the Supreme Court justice says, "Oh, I'm not a biologist," and at the same time, she's telling Dianne Feinstein how thrilled she is to be a black woman and nominated for the Supreme Court in the line of Kagan and Sotomayor and Ginsburg and O'Connor. Seems to me like she could tell the difference there, but apparently she can't tell the difference when testifying.
It is all very ridiculous. And I was mentioning earlier that I bought a snowblower, and my wife said, "How much did you pay for that snowblower?" She said it was more than I think that you should have paid. And I said, "Hey, I'm not an accountant. I don't know these things." Again, not going to work so well. Not going to work so well there, Representative. And I had yesterday on Joy Reid's Void of Reason show, I think it should be called Void of Reason, she basically said, or it was one of her guests, or she said that because Ketanji Brown Jackson is a fait accompli, that we shouldn't be going after her. We should not, because she is going to become a Supreme Court justice, then all of our questions, all of the things that we are asking in these hearings should be moot points. How would you like to address that?
2 points. Number one, it is not a fait accompli. It never is a fait accompli. And right now the Senate has there's a procedural move that they could actually stop this nomination completely, if the Republicans, if they wanted to. So I'll leave that aside. But beyond that, you better have a pretty clear view and vision of what a Supreme Court justice is going to take in as not just from a judicial temperament, philosophy point of view, but who they are as a person. I mean, basically, when she starts talking about CRT, as she has done, when she starts talking about the sentencing guidelines that she deviated from, all of these things go into make up how she is going to rule as a Supreme Court justice, and it indicates, in my opinion, a judicial temperament that is antithetical to the Constitution of the country that we love and live in, and so she shouldn't be there.
Well, she is also a board member at a school that espouses CRT. I mentioned that if you were going to create a Westworld, you ever see the movie or the TV show Westworld? And if you were going to go visit 1968, 1968, which is the kind of the beginning year where academia really took over Marxism and started promoting it. She is an amalgam of the class of 1968. 1619 Project supporter, hates the country as founded, can't define gender, can't define when life begins, believes wholeheartedly in CRT, among other things. All of these things really make her the perfect candidate for, say, for instance, somebody who a Barack Obama might nominate. But all of those things have been rejected by the American people completely, including in San Francisco with the rejection of 3 school board members and the state of Virginia with the rejection of a governor. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Rob, you're 100% correct. She is, when I was listening to her, my thought was if they hadn't gotten rid of post-structuralism, the postmodernist philosophy in the universities and switched it over to the social justice, same thing, just different name.
Yeah.
She is the prototype for that. She is the ultimate postmodern Marxist judge. I mean, she really is. Has been rejected broadly. Just hasn't been rejected on the coasts and in certain elite institutions around the country. And so for us to say, well, let's just let her flow on to the court and do her stuff and go forward, that's a real problem for us. And it's a problem because it's not reflective of either the Constitution, any kind of permanent objective judicial philosophy, and it's going to undermine who we are as an American people further, and frankly enshrine this move to Marxism that we're seeing at every level of the left.
I think that her nomination, obviously, it started with black woman, okay? Started with black woman. Although Clarence Thomas could just, destroy that in a heartbeat. All he's got to do, I'm a girl, I'm a dude, I'm a girl. So, but when you look at her, I think that it was kind of not only a nomination because of the color of her skin and her sex, but also as a middle finger to America, who has rejected all of the things she stands for. And, okay, if you're going to reject this at the ballot box, then fine, we'll put this on the Supreme Court. I think there was some of that involved. If you can't get elected, then we'll just go ahead and appoint. Go ahead.
No, I think you're right, but never underestimate just the sheer malevolence and craziness of the left and the people who are advising Joe Biden. Yeah, there's some of it that say, well, we're just going to give the finger to the America.
Yeah.
But part and parcel of this is they keep focused. They keep their eye on for them what is the long game. The long game is basically to eradicate the American constitutional Republican liberal ideology that, when I say liberal, I'm talking about Lockean liberal type of philosophy that exists in the world, that really is the beacon to the world, and basically turn us into Venezuela, except for they don't like nation states. They don't like the Westphalian nation state. What they really want to do is emasculate America. So, yeah, they're giving the finger to us, but they're doing it in a way that actually moves the ball forward for the radical left.
Well, I've been noticing that grocery stores' shelves are looking like Venezuela, and car driveways are looking a lot like Cuba these days. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Have you been by a car dealership lately? Andy Biggs, have you tried to buy a new car lately? They're not there.
I can't get the gas to drive to the car lot.
I know. Ridiculous.
I'm just telling you, I was driving last night, and I took a look over and saw $4.79 a gallon gas. And I'm like, who would have thought of that? I mean, 15 months ago under Donald Trump, you never would have said, oh, yeah, we have a time here coming in the next year or so where nobody can really afford gas. You need to be making $350,000 a year to be able to afford to fill up your tank. Yeah. You might have to take a second mortgage out on the house to fill up the tank of gas on your car. And everything else that goes with it, because everything is trucked and transported using gas. And diesel was well over $5 a gallon. And, I'm touring businesses. I'm touring businesses all over Arizona this week, and they're all talking about this. They're all talking about it, and this administration has done it. So we need to put that sticker on the gas pump with Joe Biden saying, "I did this." He did it.
But you've got a couple of congresspeople who are going to try to push through a monthly $100 stimulus to cover the gas prices. It's just amazing, honestly. They create the problem, then they create the solution that you are going to pay for. I like to liken Joe Biden with regard to making us energy dependent again, and then going. Well, I don't ever. It's like an inspector showing up at a murder scene and stepping over the body without noticing it, Or
where's the body?
Exactly. It's ridiculous. I do want a couple of things real quick here. What are you doing with regard to the border in Arizona? I know that they're going to start building a wall in Texas. What's happening on the border in Arizona? I know that they're talking a giant influx of border crossings this month with the expiration of Title 42. What's going on in Arizona?
Well, not enough, in my opinion. We need to be getting the National Guard down there more completely down there. Our state has a budget surplus. We need to be expanding the Department of Public Safety along the border, make sure they have what they need to provide support to the Border Patrol. But our local LEOs, local law enforcement, we need to make sure that they have the resources they need because they're doing so much as well. And I'm just telling you, I could take you down there and show you place after place where people are coming through in droves because we don't finish the fence. I mean, there are 8-foot gaps here, 6-foot gaps here, 62-mile gaps there, and so Arizona's not, in my opinion, not getting enough done to stop it. But you know, let's just lay the blame where it belongs. I mean, the states are trying to fill in, and they're having to fill in because this administration has emasculated the laws that govern our border security, and it's a travesty. That's why, by the way, in last August I introduced an impeachment articles of impeachment against Mayorkas, the head of the Homeland Security, because he's basically letting people in. I'll just close because I know you're in a hurry, but more and more Russians are coming across right now.
Oh, yeah. I don't doubt that. One more thing, and I mean bullet points real quick. If and when the Republicans take over houses of Congress, your priorities 1, 2, 3, just like 1, 2, 3. Just give me as fast as you can. What's on your mind if that happens?
Border security, inflation and economy, and improving our basically the CRT and the parental participation in education issues. Those are the top 3.
Andy, I greatly appreciate your time today. I appreciate your work also. I'm sorry that our time is nigh. But, you know, Kamala Harris put it in perspective with her analysis of time 2 days ago. So.
You sure did. Oh, that passage of time.
It gave me a headache. Anyway, thanks for joining me. You can make sure to check you out on, you are on Getter, and you are also on Twitter. I will post most of the accounts to my social media on Getter and Twitter. Thanks for the time today. Have a glorious day, and let's have you on again soon if you wouldn't mind, okay?
You bet, Rob. Thanks, man.
All right, that's Andy Biggs from Arizona. Let's take a break. It's the Rob Carson Show.